If you want to claim tax credits for research and development in your company, tracking Capex and Opex using Tempo accounts can help you do this. Tempo accounts are like a high-level organizer for categorizing all the time that's logged by your employees using Tempo Timesheets. One of the main strengths of Tempo accounts is that they let you group together the time spent on work that's done across multiple Jira projects and by multiple teams. And that includes time spent on work for capital expenditures, known as Capex, and work on operating expenses, known as Opex. Here at Lunar Industries, we use Tempo accounts for organizing all of our track time, including that spent on Capex and Opex work. I'm a project manager who wants to track the work that my development team is doing. We're creating a new mobile app called the H3 Mine app for testing helium-3 levels for our mining operations on the moon. We'll use this app ourselves, but we also plan to sell it to other mining companies and make lots of money. And that's why the time spent developing it is considered a capital expenditure. My goal is to track the Capex work and create a report on it so that my finance team can apply for lucrative R&D tax credits from the government. Their rules require that time tracking software is used to accurately record the number of hours worked. And Tempo Timesheets and accounts help us do this very well. Only the hours tracked to Capex accounts can be used to claim these credits, but the time that's tracked to Opex accounts can provide the full financial picture for reporting profits and losses on this development. So the first thing I need to do is create some Tempo accounts so that we can log our time accurately. I need the Tempo account administrator permission to do all of this, which I got from my Jira administrator. Granting this global permission is covered in a previous video in this series. Before I create the accounts themselves, I'll create the account categories. In the Tempo settings here, I'll scroll down to the bottom and select Account Categories. Categories are a way of organizing and grouping multiple accounts together in a way that makes sense for your company, such as our categories here for administration, research, and internal training. They also let you identify accounts to be of a certain type, and you'll see why that's important. For the first category, I'll enter development as the name and dev as the key. The type of a category is really important since this is how all accounts in this category are defined or identified. It also gives you an important data point for filtering when you're running reports later on. And I can choose from these 4 types: billable, capitalized, internal, and operational. In this case, the type is capitalized because all the accounts in the development category are only for the work on new apps and new features on these apps, which can be considered as capital expenditures. I'll click Add to create this new category, and it's down here at the bottom. So now when anyone creates accounts that are used for app development work, we can all use this same category to group them together, and that makes it easy to filter on similar accounts for future reports. Now I'll create another category for the Opex work related to the apps, and that is work that is considered as an operating expense. I'll call this category Maintenance and use the key MNTN. The type of this category will be operational since it's part of the operating costs of maintaining the app. And I click Add. The accounts related to this category will include work such as fixing bugs, testing the app, and updating the documentation after the app has been released to customers. And now I've got all my categories set up and ready to be used. So I'll go to the Accounts page where I'll now create the 2 accounts that I want to use for tracking all the work related to the H3 Mine app. So I click Create Account up on the right, and this form pops up. I want to create my Capex account first, so I'll enter H3 Mine CPX as the name. A key gets automatically generated from this name, but I want to use this number so that I can match this account with the related data in our accounting system. We add the year to the account key so that it's clear in which year the development work is done for easily claiming tax credits. It's also good housekeeping to close and archive accounts periodically, such as once a year, And having the year as part of the account key helps us easily sort and clean up later on. This key must be unique, and you can't change it after you create the account, so make sure that it's what you want now. I'll add myself as the account lead, who's the person responsible for the account and can edit it. This is usually somebody in accounting or an account manager or the project manager like myself. Development is the category that I just created for the Capex work. And customer. This field is often used to identify an external customer, like a client, when you're billing work. Or it can be an internal customer, such as another department for whom you're doing the work. You can also leave it blank if you don't need it, but the cool thing about this field is that you can use it for any kind of data you like for organizing your accounts and then filtering in reports later on. We're going to use it to indicate the year to identify Capex and Opex accounts related to app development for each year. So I'm going to select 2022 as the customer. Later on, when I create a report, I'll filter by the customer field to easily find all the Capex accounts for 2022 to apply for tax credits. And even though we do have the year in the account key, you can't filter by the key in a report. So this is why we add it here. I'll add Saul as the contact, who's in our finance team and in charge of reporting the tax credits for development work. Finally, I can link this account to this Jira project we're using for tracking the work on the app, and to which my team will log their Capex time. And what makes Tempo accounts so great is that you can link one account to many Jira projects, as I'll do here. So you can track work that's done across multiple Jira projects and by multiple teams. These projects are related to the other teams who are working on this new app and whose time can also be considered as Capex. I'll check Create Another since I have one more account to go, and then I click Create, and my Capex account is done. Now I'll create the account for the Opex work that we'll be doing on the H3Mine app after it's released. I'll enter H3Mine maintain OPX for all the bug fixing, testing, and maintenance work that we'll do for this Helium-3 mining app. And again, change the key to a number that matches the related operating expense data in our accounting system. And again, I'll add myself as the account lead. I select maintenance as the category that I just created for the operational work, and add 2022 in the customer field, just like the matching Capex account for the development of this app. I add Saul as the contact here too, since this work is related to the financial reporting on the apps. And I'll link this Opex account to the same Jira project used for the app development, but this account will be used for the work done on the app after it's released to customers. And I'll also link this account to the Jira projects for the design, doc, and QA teams, who are also doing work related to app maintenance. I'll just uncheck this option and click Create. And I've got my two accounts for my H3Mine app project. Let's take a quick look at these accounts and see all the elements. The type is listed here, capitalized and operational, the name, the key, which is how these accounts are sorted on this page, the account lead, category, which is development for Capex and maintenance for Opex, the customer, which is the year in this case, the contact, the status, which is automatically open when you create a new account, and finally, the Jira projects to which each account is linked. If I click on an account name, I can see all the information on the account's overview. And here's where I can link my account to more Jira projects, or unlink them by clicking the X. If I click Make this account global, it links this account to all Jira projects on my Jira instance. It's best practice to not do this unless really necessary, since it could cause performance issues, especially if you have a lot of Jira projects. So that's how we're set up at Lunar Industries. We create Capex accounts for new development work and Opex accounts for maintenance work on our apps, and then link each of the accounts to their related Jira projects. Make sure to watch the next video where my team and I log our time to the correct Capex and Opex Tempo accounts. and that will give the report data that my finance team needs in order to apply for lucrative R&D tax credits from the government.